listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
We come in peace.
How's it going today, Cronkite?
That's all right. How are you?
I am doing good. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Who said that?
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, he did. We also have a new sidekick in with us. His name is Pup. Pup, welcome to Here to Chew Bubblegum on the radio.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, we're very glad that you're here. Cronkite, what are you playing with your cell phone? What are you doing?
I'm keeping stuff prepared.
Oh, okay. So, Pup, tell us just a little bit about yourself. You work at Firehouse Subs, correct?
Yes.
And you don't take the orders, you make the orders, right?
I make the orders.
Okay. Well, good. What's your favorite sub at Firehouse Subs?
It's hard telling. I've had them all. I like them all, you know.
Well, good. Well, we're glad that you're here. And where are you going to be on July 31st, Cronkite?
Well, July 31st, I'm going to be with you. Where are you going to be?
I am going to be with you.
All right. Well, I'm going to be at the Powerful Comic and Toy Con. That's July 31st. I think that's a Saturday.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to be at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. For more information, contact their website, powerfulcomiccon.net. And they also have a Facebook page, or you can contact the eStore Comic and Tech Shop on Facebook, or you can call 606-263-4946.
Oh, very good. We're going to start out with some listener email. Who wants to go first?
Go for it.
Well, I guess I will, since nobody else volunteered. Stephanie says, hello, guys. The UAP report was turned over to Congress this week. Do you think they'll release their findings to the public before the end of this month? No, I do not.
I think they will release something, but it will be mostly redacted.
You really think so?
Yes.
Well, later on here in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that some of the lawmakers have said about the briefing. So you tend to think that it will be redacted and not say a whole lot?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, Pup, go ahead with one of your emails there.
One of my emails says, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys at the Pikeville Comic Con. Is everyone from the show going to be there? Did you say that you would sell merch at the event? Love Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Well, yes. And who is that from?
Sloan.
Okay, last name Sloan.
Name Sloan.
Yeah, he's wrote in before. Yes, we will be there. We will be there. I think the Spooky family will be there.
Yes.
Ned may drop by, hopefully. Pup, new addition, he has to work, so he unfortunately will not be there. We hope to have merch. We're in the process right now of creating said merch.
Yes.
So hopefully. If not, you will still have some flyers and stuff. You can come by and meet us, hang out with us. We may even let you buy us lunch.
Hey. So, I mean, if you're lucky, you can buy me lunch.
There you go.
I ate a lot. That's a fact.
Oh, no.
Tanya, friend of the show.
Yes. Hello, Tanya.
Says, my goodness, first segments 1 and 2 were excellent. Great content and great info. The Rebecca Short interview was amazing, and I've been caught up in the Great Awakening map all morning. This is amazing stuff. Yes, it is. It's very. I mean, everything that you look up on that map, it just goes down to the rabbit hole.
Yes, it does.
But she has a but.
Oh yeah.
The Getting Real segment.
Yes.
Please never do this again. As a COVID survivor and a family member of people that have not survived COVID, I have to say this segment made me cringe, and I didn't enjoy it at all. I want escapism when I listen to you guys. But I still love you all, and please, more stuff from Rebecca Short and the Great Awakening map. Where is Ned? Roswell.
Ned is here. Thank you very much, Tanya. And she's talking about the podcast episode that we did. I think it was episode 32, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
And what she's referring to, we had a Get Real segment, which listeners of the show have asked us to do.
Yes.
And we talked about Fulci's emails, what they said. And some people didn't like that, and that's fine. Everybody has an opinion. I myself also am a COVID survivor. So we didn't say anything that wasn't known. Some people just don't like that subject, and that's totally understandable.
Sure.
So,
And, we did get a lot of hate mail from that.
we didn't get a lot of hate mail.
I said a little.
Oh, okay.
I said we got a little hate mail.
Okay.
We got a little hate mail from that. And it was a lot of people kept saying we kept bringing politics up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see how that would be considered politics.
We talked about it at one point, but it was just briefly. I think some Trump's name was mentioned as Trump. I mean, I think that was it.
Yeah.
More or less. So, but, it is
again,
it is what it is.
Tanya, I'm very sorry that you feel that way. We're apologizing. That was not our intention to really attack anyone or make anyone feel any different sort of way. On the same hand to the other hate mail that we got.
Yes.
If you're going to be petty enough to quit listening to our show over one topic, good riddance. I don't need you there that bad anyway.
Oh, let's see. Pup, what does your next one say?
This one comes from Mystery J.
Hello, Mystery J.
I'm not a psychic, nor would I want to be. I have true knowledge of how people come from the dark side of the moon, which do have knowledge enough to trick you and make you believe that because they are highly intelligent, mixing truth with a lot of lies. I believe Cronkite calls it Project Blue Beam. What you see, hear, or told, the truth is coming.
Indeed.
Wow.
Well, he says he has proof that people come from the dark side of the moon. So
I would like Mystery J to write in again and give us some of that proof.
But every time we ask for proof, or not for proof, but ask for one of these people to write back in, they never do.
Well,
so please
some
prove
of them
us.
do.
Please prove us wrong, Mystery J.
Now we had the guy Adam, whose grandfather worked for NASA. He did write back in.
Yes.
So
So please write back in because we would love to know more about it.
Oh, definitely. Let's see. My next one is from Wayne. Goose and Cronkite, I'm really digging the shows, podcast and radio show. Great interview with Rebecca Short. The Awakening Map is my new rabbit hole. I ordered one for myself and have been doing research on some of the subjects. Some of these things that are on the map I've never heard of. Thank you guys for making me aware of her, and I hope that you have her back on soon. Roswell, and thanks for opening my eyes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for that, Wayne. And yes, we will definitely have her back on the podcast show very soon. And who knows, maybe over the next couple of weeks, she may be making an appearance on the radio show as well.
Well, that'd be awesome.
So,
Benjamin says, "Hey, Goose, Cronkite, and Ed and Elliot, I wanted to take a minute to let you guys know that I'm digging the show more than ever. Have you guys ever talked about Jack Wilson from Scotland? If not, do some research on him. I won't spoil anything for you. Hope to hear a segment about him soon. Roswell, my friends."
I have heard of him. I don't know a lot about him, but I have heard of him.
Never heard of him. I wrote his name down. I'm going to do some research.
There you go. I want to thank everyone for sending an email. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396.
Yes, absolutely. And you can also email us, goose@heretochewbubblegum.com or cronkite@heretochewbubblegum.com. You can reach the main page, heretochewbubblegum@yahoo.com. Attention, whatever you want to talk about in the subject line.
And if you want to send one to Pup, just put Pup in the subject line.
Yes.
The Pup is going to be doing our bad news segment, right?
Yes, he is.
So if you have bad news that you want to deliver to significant other, an employer, an employee, whatever you want to tell them they're fired, you want to tell them to get lost, or, hey, I need my belt back or whatever. You need to...
my belt back?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Pup is guaranteed to make it hilarious.
Guaranteed.
So he's a hot man. I swear he is. And
he's right on that.
Yeah. So we will hand them to Pup and let him do his thing.
Sounds good to me. Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, if that's what they want to do, then they can send them to me, and I'll give them a good option of what to say.
No. You have to.
Oh no, you're going to call and contact the person.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, you'll call and contact or whatever.
Well, actually, I'll do it. It'll be pretty good that way.
But Pup is going to be the lead.
Oh, yeah. Well, jumping right in, have you guys heard about the Scott County time traveler?
No. Well, yes, I have.
Okay. First of all, this guy looks just like Abraham Lincoln.
He really does.
I mean, just like him. A recent arrest in Scott County has many people throughout the community wondering if time travel is more than just a myth. a man named Earl Helton was recently booked into the Scott County Detention Center, and many throughout the community agree that Helton bears more than a striking resemblance to Abraham Lincoln. Right now, it's just a theory, says Scott County jailer Darren Broyles, but there's talk here at the jail that this man is the real Abraham Lincoln. We believe the former president invented a time machine and it transported him here to 2021. That's the only logical explanation. If convicted, Helton faces a maximum of 7 years.
Yeah.
Now, this article doesn't say what Helton did,
Yeah.
but if you guys have not saw this, please look up Scott County Time Traveler.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be Abe Lincoln's twin.
It looks like he's had a
really
little bit rougher life than Abe Lincoln had.
Well, Abe Lincoln had a pretty rough life.
That guy looks pretty rough. That's what I'm saying.
He does.
He looks rougher than a night in jail.
But I wanted to share that. I thought that was something worth passing along there.
Sure was.
Okay, so some of the lawmakers react to classified UFO briefings.
Can't talk politics.
Okay, well, that's true, but we're going to mention some politicians' names here.
Okay.
MysteryWire.com reports several U.S. lawmakers received the first known briefing on the upcoming UFO report due to Congress by June 25th. Officials from the United States Navy and FBI gave a classified briefing for members of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation. I know I said that right, but, you know.
I have no idea what that is.
So, well, they call it C3. So.
Oh, yeah, C3.
Okay.
No clue.
After the briefing, the New York Post reported on several comments from the lawmakers as they left the secure room used for the after they left the secure room used for the briefing. We're looking forward to having a public hearing at some point, said Representative Andre Carson. I mean, there's some national security concerns here we want to take into consideration. The House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said, "It was an interesting briefing. I did learn things that were certainly new to me, but I think I'm going to leave it at that." Mike Quigley said the stigma is gone. Now it's a big change in policy as I've witnessed about this issue in my lifetime. So the fact that they're taking this sort of thing seriously for the first time, I think is important. Representative Quigley also said, "If I had to predict how the public would react to this, one word would be disappointing." Now, see, that makes me very, very, very sad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because they're either not going to let it out or they're going to lie and say it's something else when the report to the public comes out.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Which they always do that. They always lie to the public and when something like that happens.
Which we've talked about it since probably January that
Yeah,
we figured they were going to redact it so heavily that you wouldn't be able to tell what they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was some more. Let me read one more of what somebody said. Let's see. Sean Patrick Maloney said, "We take the issue of the unexplained aerial phenomenon seriously to the extent that we're dealing with the safety and security of U.S. military personnel or the national security interest of the United States. So we want to know what we're dealing with." He continued by saying, "We need to understand the space a little bit better." So, also, there's been reports recently that I don't have the periodical in front of me right now. I don't know what it is, but there's been reports that China and Russia have denied those are not their ships. They don't have that kind of technology.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I tend to believe that, and we've said that all along.
Yeah, if you think about it logically, first of all, if it was Russia,
Yes.
they would already flexed it.
Yeah, they would own us, so to speak.
Yeah.
Number two, if it was China, they've copied it from someone else.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Well, there was recently a congressman from Tennessee who stated, let's see, U.S. congressman says something going on that we can't handle. when asked about UFOs. Another member of the U.S. Congress is talking openly about UFOs and the expected upcoming UFO report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. A TMZ photographer spoke with Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett on Capitol Hill. Representative Burchett answered a question about President Biden's meeting with Vladimir Putin and if UFOs would come up. Representative Burchett said that there's no way these objects are Russian technology because if they were, they would own us right now. Mm-hmm. That is what his claim was. Also have a video clip of that that I will play right now.
Russians had UFO technology.
Let me back this up.
I
Here we
think that's
go.
ridiculous. If the Russians had UFO technology, I mean, they would own us right now. They used to say that. I've heard people talk about how the Nazis had it in the Second World War. That if they did, they would have won. That is ridiculous. It has to be something that's out of our galaxy. It just has to be if it in fact is real.
And Congressman, you have always been a straight shooter. It's been like I know when it's been bipartisan, but the one thing I've noticed is. Doesn't matter which president it is. Nobody ever talks about the.
They always say they're going to do something about it, and then they get in office. And honestly, I thought Trump was going to do something. They was going to release the files, but they release these files are redacted. It's just a big blob of whiteout, and it clearly something's going on. We talk about we're going to release it, and then we never do, or we release something that's so redacted that it's just ridiculous. The Air Force had a release of on Roswell, which was the big deal, I think, from 48, and the big cover up there. And the guy that did it was a smart aleck, and he kind of smirked the whole time, and nobody took it serious. They ought to take it serious. The American public wants to know, and frankly, we deserve to know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's great.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And I want to apologize. That ding in there, that was in the audio that I had downloaded from the internet. That was not from my phone, Pup's phone, or Cronkite's phone. That was embedded in there some way. So
it happens.
Yes, it does.
Probably recorded on a cell phone.
Well, I think it actually was, and I'm sure you could tell that was on the street on Capitol Hill by all the background noise.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with him. People in the past have downplayed that stuff, and he says something that makes you think. The government, when they've talked about this stuff in the past, they've done it with a smirk on their face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If I was going to make somebody feel like this was just idiotic or stupid, I would downplay it just like that.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, what better way is it to get somebody off the scent and then to just be like, you sound crazy right now.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you okay?
Yeah. Exactly. And I totally agree with you.
I agree with that.
So, you talked about Paul Hellyer. We've talked about him on the show before.
Yes.
I want to play this real quick before we take a break. And he has an event coming up on, I think, June 25th. But Paul will tell us about this right now. Again, this is Paul Hellyer. He's a former defense minister from Canada, correct?
Yes.
So let's let him tell us about it.
My name is Paul Hellyer. I'm a former defense minister for Canada, and I'll be speaking at the Contact in the Desert at the end of June. My story will start right after World War II and come down to this month, June 2021, and it will sound like science fiction, but it will be the truth. And most of you have not yet been exposed to it.
Again, that's Paul Hellyer, former not Prime Defense.
Minister of Defense.
Yes, in Canada. And that is an online event. And if you're interested in that, you can go to contactinthedesert.com. Again, that's contactinthedesert.com. Paul, like we've said before on the show, is really knowledgeable and has a great following.
Yes.
And, Paul, I guess he's in his late 90s.
Oh, yeah, he's old.
But he's really, really sharp.
I mean, he was Minister of Defense in the 60s.
Yeah. So he was really, really sharp.
But it makes you wonder how he's kept up with all the stuff since then. He'd have to be doing something else, right?
He was, yeah. I think he was their Minister of Defense maybe till the 90s.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't hold me to that, but I think that's what I've read before. So.
Right on.
He's saw a lot of stuff.
He certainly
He's
has.
got the connections.
Yes, he does.
Got the connections.
What do you guys think that the? I'm gonna start with you, Cronkite. What do you think will be in the report if it does, or when it does get released to the public? I don't think it's going to be this week.
It's a lot of black lines.
You think so?
Absolutely.
What about you?
I don't really know. I mean, they could try to hide, some of it.
A lot of people in the past, if you go on documents that have been declassified, some that they don't want you to read, they put the documents out there, but
They leave out stuff.
or the photocopies are so bad
Yes.
that you cannot read them. They do that on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
They have the technology. They could whiten that up so you could see it, but they don't do that.
I still think you're just going to have a bunch of black lines through whatever's.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. I mean, all they have to do is release the reports. They don't have to tell you what it is.
Well, you're exactly right there. We're going to step away and take a break. We're going to have a clip from the Spooky Family Podcast coming up. We're going to have Ned Said. Then we're going to have a special interview with our guest, Seth Amburgey, from Seth's Daily Podcast. When we come back, Cronkite has a UFO story for us, and I'm going to talk about the Oakville Blob if there's time.
Exciting.
Very exciting. And I want to thank everyone. I thank Pup for being here. We're excited he's here. We'll be back in just a moment.
Elliot, Dirty, and Beagle. Take it away!
Thank you very much, Chris Christopherson. Is that his name? I've never learned his name.
I've never talked to him other than saying hello or goodbye.
Yeah, I know. We should probably, if he's going to be in our house, we should probably get to know him.
When he stares at me at night,
it creeps me out.
It's a little uncomfortable.
But he's really good at turning the fan on and off. So
He is.
I like it on that. All right, guys, you are here with the inaugural perfect temperature. You are here for the inaugural episode of the Spooky Family Podcast, and we are so glad you're here with us. Yes, I am Elliot Spooky, and to my right is my beautiful wife. I'll let her introduce herself.
Gertie Spooky.
Gertie.
Gertie.
And to my left is our wonderful half man, half animal brother-in-law.
Ooh.
I am the legal beagle.
He's like Teen
Spooky.
Wolf, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
I wish I was half as cool
half as cool as Teen Wolf.
as Teen Wolf.
That's just the basketball scene.
No, that's a robot. Never mind. Anyway, guys, we've completely lost the script. This is not how we should have started the first episode, but it is how we have started the first episode.
It's in the books.
It is in the books. So, what are y'all into? We've got a lot of new listeners, I hope. People who don't know us from Here to Chew Bubblegum. That is our sister
What?
podcast. Yeah, what's up, Goose? What's up, Cronkite?
Gotta
What's
give a
up,
shout
Ned?
out to the boys.
That's right. And, we're a part of a bigger, network of podcasts now. There's all kinds of podcasts here in the deep, dark hills of eastern Kentucky that, we're trying to branch out a little bit. We've got Talk Junkie with our buddy Justin Perkins over in Knott County. He's doing a fantastic job. And, I don't know, there's a couple more.
Yeah. I mean, there's some, hopefully, that we're going to pull into it.
But we are looking for emails. If you want to email us, please do so. It's Elliot at spookyfamilypodcast.com.
Gertie at spookyfamilypodcast.com.
And Legal Beagle.
Nope.
It's not Legal Beagle.
It's just Beagle.
Just Beagle.
It's just Beagle. They couldn't get legal.
It's
No.
not formal.
Nope.
No formality to it.
Then it'll be.
We were sued by.
Did I sue myself?
You did.
Harvey
You did.
Birdman, attorney at law.
Then get at me at Beagle
Yep.
at Spooky Family
Podcast.com.
Podcast.com.
That's right.
Great. Good job.
So yeah,
You know.
fantastic job. So listen, we wanted to start out with something that was near and dear to us. We like ghost stories. We're all about ghost stories, but there's plenty of time for ghost stories.
Well, we will get there.
We will get there.
Pump the brakes.
Yes. But here's the thing. So our next big topic was, well, maybe we should do, I don't know, creepypasta. We'll get there.
We will get there.
It's coming, I promise.
Guys, easy.
Scary anime.
I'm not excited by that.
mean-
I mean, I know Beagle is.
Oh.
I'm only excited to hear how you all,
Our befuddlement
yes, interpret it
at the plot
and-
lines that you're going to
Yeah,
try to
because
explain.
they are out there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, but I'm sitting in a room right now, folks, and there are posters of what I'm assuming are anime, and they all look insane. They're very scary. And we'll talk about those on a new segment that will debut in a couple of weeks. But, we've got some guests lined up that we want to bring in, but we didn't feel like the first episode was a guest episode. We want you all to get to know us. Guys, make sure if you want to email us, Elliot at spookyfamilypodcast.com.
Gertie at spookyfamilypodcast.com.
And Beagle at spookyfamilypodcast.com.
Yes, and if you want to text us, call us, and leave a message or any of that good stuff, you can do that at area code 276-299-1681. We want to hear from you. Please give us all of the information that you can. If you know anything about these missing 4, if you have a theory about what's happening, send it to us.
Let us know.
Yeah, we definitely want to read that. We probably won't read any emails until around our 3rd or 4th episode. We're not, we don't want to rush anybody. We want to get this out there. Please share our podcast with people. Guys, we will see you all in about a week's time. You can listen to us every Thursday on Spotify, on iTunes, on any place where you listen to podcasts.
Quality podcast.
Quality podcast, not just any old podcast. Quality podcast.
Anywhere you get that ear candy at.
That's right. Guys, watch out for Bigfoot. Watch out for aliens. Watch out for crazy, feral, cannibal people living inside the woods.
And
the
forest.
Fae. And the
the
Fae.
forest. And the Fae. Oh, well, yeah, we need to talk about them. But-
Yeah.
all right, guys. This is Elliot for the Spooky Family Podcast. Stay vigilant. Elliot and the family out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
It's now time for Ned Said on Here to Chew Bubblegum.
You can't describe a color without saying a color.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of Here to Chew Bubblegum. I am Goose. Across from the table with me, as always, is my friend Cronkite.
Hello.
And Pup.
How we doing?
I'm doing good. We actually have a very special guest on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
We have Seth Amburgey of Seth's Daily Podcast.
Oh, excellent.
How you doing today, Seth?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We are doing good. Loving this beautiful weather.
Choked up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well,
A
Cronkite's...
little bit too hot.
Oh, no, man, it's not too hot. What is wrong with you? So, Seth, start off by telling us where our listeners could find your show at. I know it's on YouTube, and is it on other platforms as well?
It is on YouTube as Seth's Daily Podcast, and it is on Spotify as well. I actually have a Patreon account where that's where all the audio go to is Patreon. It is $1 a month, and that's the only place you can get my audio on, so it's very special. If you want interviews first, definitely subscribe to my Patreon because you get perks, man, of being a subscriber in my Patreon. You get to listen to the podcast before anyone else.
I know Cronkite has talked, we've talked off air before about starting a Patreon. We actually had a listener email a few weeks ago mentioning that. Have you had good success with that?
A decent success, definitely, man.
Right.
If you can make money off this, you're doing something right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you make money off anything, then, you're not doing it as a hobby or a something to do. That's your profession. You're doing it.
Yep.
The first time I ever did stand-up comedy, I made a grand total of $20. But, hey, that was my first paid stand-up gig.
That's it. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you had enough money to eat out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Seth, what got you into podcasting?
There's actually a very funny story on that. I'm not going to say any names because they'll definitely be listening because they're local politicians. So I'm definitely not going to say any names.
Protect the innocent.
Yeah, in 2020 there was election in November. Everybody knows, and there was I'm not even gonna say what they was running for, but there was this guy that was looking for interviews. Man, he was like trying to get on TV. Not gonna say any TV stations either that he was trying to get on, and he was like, just texted me. He said, "Man, I can't get on TV or anything," and he said, "Do you have a computer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have a computer." And he was like, "You got a mic, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I got a video game mic." And he said, "Well, we can do an interview." And I was like, "Well, yeah, man, I've always been interested in doing podcasting. I mean, like listening to Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz and stuff. They've definitely inspired me to be interested in doing podcasting. So that's how I got into podcasting, was interviewing a guy that ran for a seat."
And it just kind of snowballed from there then, huh?
Yeah, man, like back in January. Well, I'll get into that story, how I interviewed a very famous guy in January.
So what's your favorite part about podcasting?
Meeting new people for sure, and interviewing famous people. I've had a girl on Wednesday that was in the main event on PFL Professional Fighters League. She was in the main event against a Golden Glove gold medalist. Her name is Brittany Elkin. I had her on Wednesday, man. So meeting famous people and meeting people that you see like on ESPN and Discovery and all of them channels, man, is definitely the most fun part of doing podcasting.
Nice. So it's probably nerve-wracking, though, ain't it?
That is very cool.
Yeah, man, it's definitely nerve-wracking watching somebody on TV last week and then interviewing them the next week and seeing them on your screen in front of you.
Yeah, definitely, I'm sure.
I watch the Joe Rogan podcast a lot, too.
I have watched it a couple of times. Got choked up there a little bit. I think Cronkite gave me his head cold that he had.
It's not a head cold, it's sinuses.
Well, you probably...
It's not contagious.
Okay, well,
just
good.
my body just trying to get rid of the crap that grows around here.
And you're spewing it out everywhere else, huh?
I'm trying not to.
Make everybody else sick.
Yeah. Well,
I think Pup's got a question for you, Seth.
I was going to ask, what do you think crashes at Roswell, New Mexico?
That was a good question.
Well, I had some UFO experts on Friday, actually, and I asked them about that. And I don't know anything about it until they talked about it. That's actually one of the reasons why I interviewed them, so I could be ready for this interview, because they're very intelligent on UFOs, and you guys should definitely get them on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. They're really good people, and they know a lot more about it than me. Well, I definitely think the government has covered something up there.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if you look at anything about Roswell, it's a guarantee. I mean, if you can't walk away looking at it and saying something else happened there than what they're saying, you have your head in the sand.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
What was that, Pup?
You're lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. I've never heard that. Have you ever heard that before, Seth? Lost in the sauce?
Yes.
Okay. I have never heard that. I have heard if you catch it, see a doctor and get rid of it, but never lost in the sauce. Hey, Seth, who has your favorite guest so far been, if you can name a favorite?
Oh, definitely Joe Ted-Eye, man. I interviewed Joe again Tuesday, actually. He's from Discovery show Dual Survival. It has 8.5 thousand views on YouTube. Definitely my favorite interview is with Joe, because, man, watching him grow, when I was growing up, man, I watched him every day on TV on Discovery. So it's definitely weird interviewing him, but it was definitely a very fun interview.
Well, good.
Nice.
Good. I have saw that before on Discovery. Have you?
No, I don't have TV.
But you have YouTube. You watch YouTube. I'm sure you can find a YouTube clip of it.
Yeah, but I don't Google Discovery shows.
You were the one that said you paid for the Discovery app or whatever it was a few months ago.
I used to. I don't anymore.
Oh, okay.
I have Netflix and Hulu now.
Oh, okay. Okay. You have heard of the show, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I've heard of the show. I have just never watched it. Yeah. I mean, no, I Netflix, Hulu, and OnlyFans now. That's what I do.
OnlyFans.
Okay. Yeah. we're not. This interview is going to be going on the radio, so we're not going to go in that direction.
Well, no, I'm not.
Yeah, let's not touch that subject.
I'm not saying anything out there. All right. So, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe they exist?
Yes.
Tell me why. Tell me why not.
I definitely believe they exist because there's been stuff on video, man, that is just mind-boggling, man.
Yeah, it's been some of the stuff that's been posted out here recently is pretty wild. Now it could be. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. And if you think about it, why, if they wasn't real, why would the government cover it up?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, very true. And it's it could be the fact that it's been, our cameras and everyone has a camera now on their phone, and our cameras are getting better. That we're seeing a lot of stuff, and it's just becoming harder for them to keep it a secret. Maybe I'm not really sure, but it seems like there has been a lot more sightings lately.
I think.
Yeah, it's definitely because we got a lot more technology.
Oh yeah, yes, we definitely do. What's your favorite sci-fi movie?
Man, that's a tough question right there.
Give me your top 3.
Ooh, man, that's tough. I would say my favorite Star Wars, to be honest.
What is your second favorite sci-fi movie?
I guess Star Trek, man.
There you go. There you go.
The new ones or the old ones?
The old ones for sure.
Oh, really? Nice.
You are a man of good taste. You are a man of good taste.
Goose doesn't even know what Star Trek is.
No, not at all.
The old Star Wars is definitely better than the new ones, I think.
Oh, yeah, for
Just want
sure.
to throw that out there.
And coming in at number 3, what's your third favorite?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to tell you, this one is more like a comedy movie, man. Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I've seen that.
That is a good one. That is a good one. I actually remember back when that first came out, there was a phone campaign. And this is a true story. I answered my phone one day, and it was like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, check out my new movie, Snakes on a Plane." And I know that sounded more like Kermit the Frog than Samuel L. Jackson. But, I was blown away by that.
Yeah.
So, did you get a call like that? Okay.
I did. Pup, did you get a call?
Oh, no, I definitely didn't get a call like that.
I didn't either.
Oh, let's see. Who has the next question there they want to ask Seth?
Oh, if you could time travel or travel to any other time period, what would it be?
I would say the 1800s, man, because things was a lot more peaceful back then.
They definitely were peaceful. Now, would you go back to the late 1800s, like circa Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Man. Are you a gamer? Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yes, that's exactly why, man. Yes, exactly. Red Dead is awesome.
Yes, it is. I don't think Cronkite's played it. Have you, Cronkite?
I've not.
Okay. What about you, Pup? Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
I have a little bit.
What'd you think about it?
I think it's like GTA, but like
the graphics are so much better than GTA, though.
They are. It is a really fun game. If you could travel to another planet, which one would you choose and why?
Mars, because it's definitely got the most interesting stories, man, of like research for like human life or alien life, and man, I believe they found water on there a couple years ago, right?
Yes,
sure,
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Have you guys saw some of the images that people are saying are statues and stuff?
Yes.
All right. Have you saw that, Seth?
You're talking about the weird statues that have showed up, like in. There's actually one that showed up in Kentucky, wasn't there, in Floyd County?
Oh, the monoliths.
Yeah, you're talking about the monoliths. I'm talking about there's been with the recent Mars rover, they've been sending back pictures, and some people claim that they see noses and face and debris like from old statues and stuff. Have you saw those pictures?
No, I haven't, man, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, you definitely.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, you'll definitely have to check it out because at first I really didn't. When I looked at the picture, I really didn't believe it, and then I was reading one article about it, and this one guy, and it makes sense. He said that NASA blurs the pictures because to hide you from seeing exactly what it is. And in this interview, he was a like a professional software guy, and he took one of the pictures and he lowered the contrast, and you could actually see a face. And he said that had been done, before they posted it, because it was pixeled, and he canceled that some way by playing with the settings and adjusting the contrast. But it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, man.
Seth,
have you guys heard about where? Oh, sorry, I didn't.
No. You're totally fine. You go ahead.
Have you guys? Speaking of that, Roswell, them people that I had on Friday night, shout out to them. Their podcast is called In Dark Places, and they was telling me about how there was like in Roswell, New Mexico, there was like aliens supposedly found, and then there was like UFOs found and stuff, but they said that the government was saying that it was just hot air balloons and dummies that was falling out.
Yeah. The government's said all kinds of stuff like
They're
that.
liars.
Which brings me to my next question: do you believe the government has been honest about what they know about UFOs?
No, not at all, man.
I don't either. Do you think that the upcoming UAP report will have some stuff in it, or it will be totally redacted or downplayed?
I think it'll be downplayed, man, because that it seems like everywhere that there is a site or they see aliens and stuff, that it always gets played out like it's just like in Roswell. They said it's a hot air balloon or something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely. They try to put the blame off on something else.
Yes,
Distraction.
They do. Definitely.
Did you guys hear about the 2002 CSX crash that possibly hit a UFO in Paintsville?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We've talked about that several times on the show. And actually, hopefully we'll be able to make a trip out there later on this summer. Correct, Cronkite?
They had a lot of information about it.
Yes. There was, and something that we've said on the show before is that particular incident, if you go back and read the report, it was written like an incident report. It was structured that way, like an incident report. The information it gave, if you work in a field dealing with investigative reports, that's what it read like to me. But that's a
you actually seen the report?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see an actual report. I have, through the Freedom of Information Act, made requests from different agencies. I've not got a reply. And actually, how many weeks ago was it that we called CSX? Probably a month ago now, maybe a month and a half ago.
Yes.
We called them live on the show and talked to a lady in their human resources department, wasn't it?
No. We tried to reach their office, but we ended up with a incident response or something like that.
Okay. But we told them about that and asked, and her basic thing was, do you have a incident name and report number?
Yes.
And, that's something we're not able to. And she asked for a password too, didn't she?
She did.
And that's something we weren't able to provide. But, just the fact that she said that was, kind of mind-blowing to us.
Yeah, there was, they was talking about it Friday night, and there was actually people that know about it but won't come forward because they're too scared.
Wow. Well, we're definitely going to have to check out that episode and have those guys on, and we appreciate you turning them on to us. Now, the county that you live in, I know it very well. Have you saw anything suspicious in the skies or anything?
That's a very interesting question, man, because I actually have. I was like 10 years old in the swimming pool, and I remember just laying there, man, and I seen something. You know how like an old dish satellite looked like back in the 90s and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I was born in 98. The only reason why I know that is because there's like an old dish satellite behind our house.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, man.
Go.
I think I've seen something before.
See, Cronkite makes fun of me being old, and he's like 98. So Cronkite's finally realized he's old.
Yeah, I know I'm old.
So
I'm just not trying to hold on my youth like you are.
So yeah, right. So Seth, when you saw this object, did it look like an old satellite dish? Is that correct?
Yes, it was gray, and it had like red lights on it. That's all I remember. It was circle. I was 10 years old.
Right.
so it's kind of hard to remember exactly. But I do remember seeing it like gray and like red lights, and it went really fast, which I didn't know anything about UFOs back then because I was 10 and stuff. And I said, what in the world was that?
Right. Well,
I remember saying that. I was definitely confused on what it was.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's something that has stuck with you all these years.
Definitely, man. I don't think you could ever forget that. Like if somebody seen Bigfoot or something, they wouldn't definitely not forget that.
Yeah.
So, Seth, there, in closing, is there anything you want to add, or is there any questions for us?
Yeah, man. Tuesday, I interviewed Joe Teddy. That'll be up on YouTube on Seth's Daily Podcast. You should definitely check out my interview with In Dark Places on YouTube as well. They go very into detail about the Paintsville CSX UFO crash. I mean, they go very in detail about it. And I got a question for all three of you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Do you guys have any personal experiences seeing UFOs?
Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah, you do too, don't you? I saw. The first one I ever saw was in '96 near a lake there in the county that you're in, and I didn't see another one until this past the end of January, 1st of February, and Cronkite witnessed it as well. So, that's something too that you can take people's UFO experiences, and if they're not exactly the same, they're very, very similar in detail.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I live around the lake, actually, so it's very funny that you said you seen one around here.
Well, I actually started to say the name of the lake, but I didn't want to give, your location away there. But, Seth, thank you very much for being on the show. We'll definitely have you back. I will get in contact with you and get the contact information for those guys you was talking about. We'd love to have them on the show as well.
For sure.
Again, thank you very much, Seth. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Seth Amburgey from Seth's Daily Podcast.
You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Cronkite.
And welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum. I am Cronkite. That feller across from me is Goose. And
hello, everybody.
To my right is the thing they call Pup.
What's good, peoples?
And just want to remind everyone, July 31st, Appalachian Wireless Arena, we will be there at the Pikeville Comic and Toy Con. Visit pikevillecomiccon.net for more info. They also have a Facebook page, or you can contact the eStore Comic and Text Shop, also on Facebook, or call 606-263-4946.
Sounds great to me. You have a UFO story for us, don't you, my friend?
I do. It's a little lengthy, so if
take your time. If we run out of time for the Oakville Blob, we'll talk about that next week.
Well, just keep me track on the time. Then.
Okay.
Right. In May of 1951, 1 year into the Korean War, PFC Francis P. Wall and his regiment found themselves stationed near Chorwan, about 60 miles north of Seoul. Seoul. I said Seoul.
Yes, I saw that.
Daggone. Seoul. That's in South Korea.
Yes.
As they were preparing to bombard a nearby village with artillery, all of a sudden the soldiers saw a strange light up in the hills, like a jack-o'-lantern come wafting down across the mountain. What happened?
Did it really say wafting?
Wafting is exactly what I'm reading. What happened after the pulsing, attacking light, the lingering, debilitating symptoms would mystify many for decades to come. The GIs watched the craft make its way down into the village where the artillery airbursts were starting to explode. We further noticed that this object would get right into the center of the airburst and artillery and yet remain unharmed. Wall later told John P. Timmerman of the Center for UFO Studies in 1987, "Suddenly the object turned," Wall said, "and whereas at first it had glowed orange, it was now pulsating blue-green brilliant light." He asked his company commander for permission to fire at the object with armor-piercing bullets from an M1 rifle. As the bullets hit the body of the aircraft, or the craft, he recalled that they made a metallic ding. The object started behaving still more erratically, shunting from side to side as the lights flashed on and off. Wall's recollections of what happened next are still stranger. "We were attacked," he said, "swept by some form of a ray that was emitted impulses in raves that you could visually see only when it was aiming directly at you. That is to say, like a searchlight sweeps around the segments of light, you would see it coming at you." He remembered a burning, tingling sensation sweeping over his body as if he were being penetrated. The men rushed into underground bunkers, and peeped through the windows, watching as the craft hovered above and then shot off at a 45-degree angle. It's that quick, he said. It was there and was gone.
Wow, and that happened, when did that happen, in the 50s?
In May of 51.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So 3 days later after the incident, the entire company of men was evacuated by ambulance with special roads cut to haul out those too weak to walk. When they finally received medical treatment, they were found to have dysentery and an extremely high white blood cell count. To me, says Richard F. Haynes, a UFO researcher and former NASA scientist, they had symptoms that sounded like effects of radiation. In the wake of the Korean War, which ended in 1953, dozens of men have reported seeing similar unidentified flying objects over the course of a 37-month conflict. The craft often resembled flying saucers, according to unofficial reports. As many as 42 were corroborated, and additional witnesses reported. And they reported an average of more than one a month in just over 3 years. At first, according to the Korean War historian Paul M. Edwards, many researchers believed that the sightings were Soviet experiments based on German technology and foreign research in anti-gravity. These were supposedly so large that they could carry 50 tons of weight and were powered by electromagnetic propulsion. He was being sighted. It was suggested were discs the Russians were testing over the Korean skies. But in the years since the fall of the Soviet Union, a number of Soviet reports of sighting UFOs over Korea have trickled in, discrediting these theories. Why were there so many UFO sightings throughout the Korean War? Well, were they a product of thousands of exhausted men under incredible stress, or a sign of something more mysterious? From 52 to 86, the United States Air Force ran Project Blue Book, a systematic study into unidentified flying objects and their potential threat to national security. When it was shuttered in 1969, the Air Force announced that they had found nothing of note and terminated all activity under the auspices. Terminated all activity under the veil of the study.
That's a little bit suspicious.
Auspicious. That's what it is.
Auspicious.
Auspicious of the study. Oh my God! Would you edit that out, please?
No,
please.
No.
I don't want people to think I'm stupid.
There will be no editing.
Right? See.
Please edit that out.
Pup the producer says no.
He is not a producer.
Yes, he is.
He's not a producer.
Pup the producer said
I just
no.
work at Firehouse Subs. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But many believe the project ended aborted. Oh my God! All right, you know what? They have too big of words in here.
Why?
In 2002, researchers demonstrated a link between UFO sightings and the Cold War hysteria, and pointed out how the number of sightings had nosedived as radar improved. That cannot be coincidence. Those early confrontations were just a product of primitive radar system. The flurry of UFO sightings, Haynes describes, may have been the dual effect of these two threats: a potentially world-destroying war on the horizon, and in the incredible presence of being in the military. Wall had experiences in those years in Korea that would scar him until his death in 1999. One night, Denny says, he managed to make his way through a pitch dark minefield, praying for his life as he went. Others who made the same journey were not so fortunate. When he went into the war, he was happy-go-lucky, just totally different person than when he came out. Whether the UFO sightings that Wall and so many other men reported were a product of his personality-altering trauma or the effects of something requiring much greater investigation remains a mystery. I mean, it would make sense that we just dropped the nuke.
Yeah.
6 years prior.
Yeah.
Also in Asia. Probably what? How far from Korea is Japan?
Do I look like Randy McNally rode Atlas? I had no idea.
All right, Randy McNally.
I had heard about that story some time ago. I'd actually forgot about it until you started talking about it.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
it
it
didn't just
is.
affect one; it affected several GIs.
Yes.
That whatever that was felt threatened that all those soldiers were firing upon it, and I'd reckon it didn't like that too much, and so
you reckon?
I'd reckon it didn't like it too much, and it it backfired on them.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd do the same thing if somebody was.
Well, we have said before on the show, it's been a while. Let me ask you: the government says UFOs are real. Okay, people in our area, what are they going to get drunk and do on a Saturday night if they see something?
Well, they're going to shoot at it.
There you go. There you go.
There's no doubt about it. They're going to shoot at it, or they're going to try to throw something at it. I don't know. They're going to do stuff.
You know,
they're
now
something.
I didn't think about throwing something at it.
Like fireworks.
Yeah. No, let me ask you a question. Let's say they do come out and they say that they're real, and somebody somewhere is, tying some on the weekend, and they do shoot at it or something like that. Do you think before then the government will put a strict thing in place saying, please do not shoot at these craft? You may unknowingly start an alien war. Do you think they would give any disclaimer like that?
I think they would, just because they wouldn't want to fight something that they couldn't compete with.
I think they would, but I don't think people will listen because
I don't think people will listen.
Because people don't listen now to laws, and people don't listen now to warnings and advisories. People don't trust the government.
I think that if this stuff exists, they're not going to want to tell people about it because they don't want people to go out and provoke whatever these things are, whatever these flying saucers are.
That's a really good thought.
That's a good point, but I think it's also got a lot to do with follow the money. I think if you have one government that is controlling everything, all the research and all the reverse engineering and stuff like that, then there's nobody capitalizing on the reversing engineering of these craft, of these vehicles, except for the people that are tied in with the government. It comes back to money, I think.
Some people, there could be somebody out there, whether it be in the government or the military or something, that could have some type of connection with these otherworldly beings, and that's how we're getting this technology and these new weapons in the military and new armor and all that crazy stuff over there. And I mean, it could that could be what's going on here, and they might not want to piss off what could potentially be how we're getting all this technology and stuff. They don't want to make them mad.
And there's a lot of people that say that is the exact reason.
Yeah. I still think it comes down to money.
Well, and sadly, you're right. I think it would be better if, they came out and are like 0 point energy exists. You don't need, fossil fuels. Here's how you need to do it. We don't need electrical power. We don't need all this. Here's how you do it. That does exist. I mean, you can find videos and patents and tons of information on how to set up stuff like that. I mean, recently there was a video of a guy taking some spark plugs and a part of a lamp that you plug in, and he wired it up to the spark plug, put a light bulb in, touched the spark plugs with a magnet. Guess what happened? The light bulb lit up. It wasn't plugged into anything. That's real. That's 100% legit. And they just need to come forward and just say that.
I agree.
They just need to be honest.
I agree.
Do you want to tell us about anything before we wrap it up for this week?
July 31st, Pikeville Comic and Toy Con, PikevilleComicCon.net. They also have a Facebook page, or you can contact the eStore Comic and Techno Shop on Facebook, or call 606-263-4946. Again, that's July 31st at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. Goose and I will both be there.
Yes,
the Spooky family will be joining us, and maybe some more. We don't know.
Definitely.
But also, did you know humans and elephants are the only ones with chins?
I did not know that.
Now you do.
Really? Well, thank you very much. Next week on the show, on the podcast show, and hopefully the radio show if they have time, we'll have Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle. I am talking about the Spooky family. They will be in Bunker Studios as our special guest. Hopefully Pup will be here. Will you be back next week, Pup?
I will be here.
Good. We look forward to it. I want to say special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work, CK, Uncle Bill, and the rest of the gang at deadpet.com. Justin Perkins of Talk Junkie. Be sure to check out Down on the Holler with Jordan and Brad, Seth's Daily Podcast, and don't forget the Spooky Family Podcast debuting on July 1st. For more information, you can visit spookyfamilypodcast.com. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.
Later, taters.
Don't get lost in the sauce out there.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.